What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today's video we're going to be working again on the GLA45 AMG. This is going to be a really simple video. We're just going to be changing the brake pads today. This process is the same for just about any other car, or it's the exact same as just about any other car. However, doing a quick search, I couldn't really find much information on this car specifically, and so I thought it would be a good opportunity for me and Brandon to just do a little overview of the process of changing the front and rear brake pads. Now, before we get started, I do want to come over here to my favorite workbench just to go over some of the tools that we're going to be using for this install. The front pads are held in with retaining pins, and so we're going to need a punch as well as a mallet or a hammer. It's always good to have a couple flathead screwdrivers on hand for various things like prying out old brake pads. We're also going to be removing the wheels, and so of course you're going to need the correct size socket or key. The rear calipers are held in place with a 13 and a 17. You'll actually be using both of those at the same time to remove the caliper, so make sure you have a 13 and a 17 open end. And finally, we will need some way to press in the pistons back into the calipers, and my preferred method is typically a C-clamp like this one. We're going to start with the front brake pads, and so step number one is obviously to jack the car up and remove the wheel on the side of the car you're working on. If I could offer one piece of advice, it would be to turn the wheel out slightly, as we've done here. This gives you a lot more access to installing and removing your pads. Step number two, we're now going to be removing the brake pad wear sensor. If you need to remove the entire caliper, for instance, if you're doing the rotors as well, you will need a size 10 external Torx bit to remove the sensor from the caliper. However, since we're only replacing the brake pads, we do not need to remove the sensor entirely. Simply take a pair of pliers and remove the sensor from the inside of the brake pad and from the sensor's housing. Take a quick look at it to see if it has any wear. If the light on your dash indicating it's time to change your pads has already come on, then you will need to replace that sensor. We're replacing the pads with about 40% life remaining, and so that sensor is good to reuse. These sensors are usually only about $10, and there's only two. One for the front and rear calipers on the passenger side of the car. Step number three, there are two caliper pins, one on the top and one on the bottom, with a retaining clip holding the pads in place. Use your hammer or mallet and your punch to remove those pins. With those pins removed, the retaining clip will pop out of place. Step number four, it's time to press the pistons back into the caliper. Now, there are several ways to do this. However, my preferred method is to either use a prybar or a flathead screwdriver, leaving the pads still in the actual brake caliper. This method makes it a bit easier and gives you lots of contact area on the piston to push them back into the caliper. Step number five, with the pistons pressed fully back into the caliper, you can now freely remove your old pads. Step number six has a few parts, and the first part is obviously to slide your new pads into place. Then reassemble everything, starting with the retainer clip, lay it on top of the pads, and then press your caliper pins into place. This can be a tight fit, so make sure to be patient and finesse all of the parts. Finally, reinstall your brake pad wear sensor and your passenger side caliper is complete. Repeat this process for the driver's side. Now that we've done the front pads, it's time to move on to the rear, but first we must get inside of the car and disengage the electronic parking brake. First part of this is to put the car into ignition 1. This can be done with the key or with the keyless go. However, I did find it a bit easier to make sure I was on ignition 1 using just the key. After you've done that, take a look at the OK button on the left side of the steering wheel and the call button on the right. Press both of these buttons down simultaneously for about 5 seconds. Doing so is going to bring up a new menu on your screen. You'll want to scroll down to pad replacement, and then hit OK to move the pads into the fitting position. This is going to completely disengage the parking brake so that we can safely remove those pads and press the pistons back into place without damaging that electronic parking brake. Once it is finished, you can exit the vehicle and we can start working on the rear pads. Step number 8, your rear calipers are held in place with 2 bolts, one on the top and one on the bottom in the back. Using a 17 and a 13 open end, loosen both of these bolts. The 17 is on the inside of the caliper, and the 13 goes on the outside. After you remove the top bolt, go ahead and move on to the bottom. Once both of those bolts have been removed, the face of the brake caliper will slide out of place, leaving the brake pads behind. The rear brake pads are asymmetrical, so take note of which pad goes on the inside and which pad goes on the outside before taking your old pads off. Step number 9, it's time to press the piston back into the caliper. My preferred method 99% of the time is a C-clamp like this one. However, on the Mercedes, make sure to have extra caution as the electronic parking brake housing is made of plastic. Step number 10, it's time to remove the old hardware that held your brake pads into place. Your new pads should have come with some replacement hardware, and while the old hardware may still work and may look fine, if you have the new hardware, you might as well go ahead and install it now. Step number 11, it's time to install your rear pads. Now these can be a bit of a tight fit with that new hardware. I have found that sometimes it's helpful to slide the pads in just a little sideways and twist them into place. Once both of your new pads are installed, go ahead and put the face of the caliper back on top of the pads, bolt everything back up, and then repeat this entire process for the opposite side of the car. Step number 12, this is the final step of your brake pad installation. Get inside of the vehicle and navigate back to the fitting position screen that we were on earlier. You need to hit OK on that screen to exit the fitting position. The electronic parking brake will then cycle through its duties to get back to the normal everyday position that it's in. Once it is complete, you are totally finished with your brake pad install. And just like that, your new brake pads are installed. This is a really simple process. Just about anybody with a basic set of hand tools should be able to do it. Allot yourself an hour, maybe 2 if it's your first time, and don't use this video as your only source of information. Depending on your model and your region, you might have different options. You might have different brake wear, different little issues that might creep up. So make sure to do your own research before getting all of your brakes installed. As always, I hope you found a little bit of use out of this video, and we'll see you next time.